More news. This is from Albert Breer. So he was here 3 days ago on August 1st. I saw him here. We both work for Sports Illustrated. And I was curious, like, when a guy like Albert Breer comes to an organization, he's not just there to watch practice and leave. He knows someone, and he's going to talk to someone. So he was here to talk to someone. So I read his article, and where's the nugget? Boom, when he talks about Purdy, he says, Purdy with the $265 million man, when you give a quarterback a deal like that, there's a toll to pay, and generally it means more will be foisted on that guy's shoulders. Purdy understands that. He also got to a point last year where, admittedly, he tried to do too much to combat the rash of injuries that took down so many of the pieces around him. His coaches gave him cut-ups to illustrate it in the spring, which is to say that last year set him up for what he'll be faced in the future going forward, blah, 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 blah. Coaches gave him cut-ups in the spring of him doing too much. One, good. That's coaching. I'm glad.
Good.
And good. That's why I harp on the interceptions in practice. It's like, man, that's the one thing you need to work on, dude. Not doing too much. So I asked Mick Lombardi, the new quarterback coach, about it, and he was like, that's between me and Brock. That's between me and Brock. I'm like, man, apparently it's between you, Brock, and Albert Breer. So I don't know. But yeah, so he didn't really provide any more insight on that. What do you think of the Niners talking to Brock, showing Brock, trying to make this a point of emphasis?
I feel like this is the point in the offseason where something like this is turned into a bigger deal than it actually is. But it's nice to have the confirmation that it actually fucking happened. Sorry, it actually happened. Like, there is someone in that building that is self-aware enough to say, these are the mistakes. Here's how we're going to fix it. I would love to be a fly on a wall with Kyle and Brock and Mick Lombardi talking about Brock's play last year. And I would love to see how much of that Kyle takes onto himself, where, like, yeah, Brock did too much, but if you look at the situations that he was put in pretty consistently last year, like, even with having Kittle and Jennings, the offensive line was Swiss cheese, and he's trying to earn that contract on a team that's very clearly broken and not going to make the playoffs. So it makes sense to me that he did too much for the majority of the season. I mean, we all watched it happen. What else was he going to do? He got too far out of the offense and out of the system. And it was nice to see that Kyle didn't pigeonhole him too much into taking all of his improvisational ability out of his game, which is something that makes him special. And that was something that I was really worried about over the evolution of his time with Kyle, if we were going to see that become less and less of his game. The pendulum swung way too far in the opposite direction, and it seems like they're going to get that under control. And I do have faith in Brock, less so Kyle, that he will find the best parts of that ability to infuse back into the game with whoever the new Avengers is going to be.
I agree. I think why this is an interesting topic is because it's like the best and the worst thing about Brock. You know what I mean? Like, you want him to extend plays. You don't want him to be a robot in the pocket. He has this incredible 10-yard burst. He's elusive.
Yep.
He has to use that part of his game. And yet he used it too much last year. He was like almost irresponsible. So as he gets older and more experienced, he'll get a better feel for, like, the balance of executing and being a playmaker. And I think it's helpful that they're reinforcing, hey man, you tried to do too much. You need to play within yourself. You gave away some games late last year that, frankly, we would have won if you hadn't done these things. Your number one job is to not hurt the team. And once you do that, then you can try to help us with your big plays.
Right.
But at the same time, like, they can't turn him into Mac Jones, because as much as I like Mac Jones so far, there is a reason why Brock is a starter and Mac isn't. And it has a lot to do with the mobility.
This is something that you and I disagree on about Brock Purdy, is that he's small. Brock is smaller in stature than, like, a Justin
He's not
Herbert.
Kyler.
Not Kyler. Not Kyler. Who's bigger,
Kyler.
Upton, Stout, or Kyler?
Yeah. I'd love to see him side by side. It might be Upton.
We know who'd win in a head-to-head to Call of Duty, though. But anyway, Brock Purdy and Jalen Hurts are the same size. Almost like same size, same weight.
I know they're listed at the same. I just feel like they look
Hurts
different.
Definitely a better athletic specimen. Like, Hurts squats, like 600 pounds or something ridiculous like that.
Brock's got thighs too, though.
Brock's got those mini Bosa thighs.
Mini Bosa thighs.
It's funny how the Giants had Buster Posey and then his evil twin, Joe Panic, and the 49ers have Nick Bosa's quads and Brock Purdy's quads.
It's true.
But It's very interesting here seeing the cut-ups with Albert Breer, this story dropping, Brock's running ability, what Brock has said multiple times this offseason now in regards to Steve Young wanting him to incorporate more of the run game into his game. And it's very interesting. I can't quote it off the top of my head, hearing what Brock has to say about that, where he's like, this is only something I want to do if it's the last resort. If I'm running, it means I haven't gotten the ball to my guys who can get more yards after the catch than I can, blah, 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 blah. Can we incorporate more of Brock's ability to run the ball into the game? Can the 49ers do it without risking his injury? Could the 49ers, I mean, they can't because they don't have the offensive line, but could the 49ers have their own adaptation of the tush push? Again, since Brock and Jalen Hurts are the same size, but Jake Brendel can't run that play. It'll be interesting to see the evolution of Brock now this year with McCaffrey back and a new batch of weapons, and how the running ability will play into playing within the structure of the offense.
What I want to see from Brock, and I talk about it in practice too, I want to see him I want him to stop hunting big plays. I feel like every once in a while in a game last year, I feel like I got to make something happen right now. And he would roll left and roll right and hold the ball a long time. And I started to lose confidence in him when he would do that. Like, man, you are forcing something that's not there right now. And I understood why he was kind of trying to do it, but ultimately that's not the way he should play. That's not the way Jaden Daniels plays. Jaden Daniels is very decisive. He either throws the ball quickly or he runs the ball quickly. There's not these, like Caleb Williams is the indecisive guy who holds the ball for 12 seconds. You don't need to be Caleb Williams. I don't think that's, as you get older, you should be getting, more decisive, not less decisive. Right. So that's what I want to see from him. And I think that's, I don't know. It's good that the backup is like that. Like, hey man, if you don't do it, guess who freaking will? That guy.
I want to see Brock run the ball like Patrick Mahomes does. Only when it's absolutely necessary to either make a play to get a first down or win the fucking game.
And I want to say something else to that. What's nice about Kansas City and the way they use Mahomes as a runner, they'll protect him all year, but when they really need a play, it's not just Mahomes taking matters into his own hands and scrambling. They will absolutely call runs. They called a zone read in the overtime of the Super Bowl against the Niners that kind of won the game for them. And we've never seen Kyle call something like that for Brock Purdy ever, which is strange to me because I think he definitely has the burst to be effective on a zone read if it's 4th and 2. Yeah. So I just want to say, without getting in trouble, they've been doing some stuff along those lines here and there at practice. And it's encouraging to me because I think it's a good way to incorporate his legs without asking him to, do it all by himself or make those decisions all by himself.
I also think it's going to be interesting to see what this offense looks like with real speed for once. The 49ers have never had a fast offense.
Even Ayuk wasn't super fast.
No. And like Raheem Mostert was a burner, but he wasn't much of a receiving threat when he was with us. And we've never had, like, Debo was fast with the ball in his hands, but he wasn't a threat off the line. Like, there is a legitimate shot that we have 4 guys that can run in the 4-3s on the field at the same time next season. And Brock's never had that in his pro career.
No. BNA established 1988 says, Eli Apple is a good sign for you, Grant. His uncle is Michael Blackson from next Friday, and he goes to games. Get jiggly with this ish modosoka. I remember that. That's that scene in Next Friday. Next Friday is the worst of the Friday movies, but it has some incredibly funny moments, I would say. But that's just my opinion on the Friday franchise. Brock and Hurts in a thigh off.
Ooh.
Dude, Brock's thighs are underrated. Pause. I can't say stuff like that, man. You should be mad at me if I say stuff like that.
Alfred Collins is long.